camaraderie describes are logical of no significance. Evolution has granted us spectacular abilities, the ability to dream, create, and adapt. Yet in the grand scheme of our existence, we have nothing. Relatively speaking, we have nothing in comparison to our homes, to our planet, and the vast expanses of the universe. Yet, we've accomplished so much, have we not? According to recent numbers, human civilization has caused the destruction of about 83% of all land animals and half of all planets. And about 87% of all oceans and 77% of all land on Earth has been lost due to human activity. Those are shocking numbers, and pretty significant for supposedly insignificant beings. But if we have this ability to evoke such divine judgment over our own home, doesn't that give us a similar responsibility for its development? Like I said, I'm about 17 years old, so what does that mean for me? Well, for starters, I'm what society deems as young adult, on the cusp of sovereignty, yet so far from it. And on this dauntingly distant road ahead, I'm only fueled by questions of uncertainty surrounding the most basic necessities. Will I have enough clean and water? Is my food not going to be poisoned? And will I be able to afford a house? But these aren't questions that someone should be asking. Yet they're becoming more and more persistent due to the rise of unsustainable practices. Yet, we as the young adults of society have an opportunity. We can advocate for change. We can hold our leaders accountable, and we can prioritize policies that lead to our environment. However, only 2.8% of parliamentarians worldwide are under the age of 30. Despite young people, those between 15 and 29 years old, making up approximately 20% of the global population. Apologies to everyone in the audience above the age of 30. You're not young according to the UN. However, back to the topic. This shouldn't be the case. We're the ones who are inheriting the planet. We're the ones who have to take care of our home. We need to bear our own responsibility. So what's holding us back? Insignificance. Insignificance is defined as the quality of being too small and unimportant to even worth consideration. So I ask you all again, who are we? Unfortunately, our generation in the eyes of many bears the burden of skepticism and doubt, a color defined by superficiality um,